In a not-so-shocking move, the Twitter board of directors has decided to adopt a poison pill in an effort to stop Elon Musk from taking over the company. And many people are saying this proves that they are in violation of their fiduciary duty to the shareholders when Elon Musk made an offer in earnest to buy out the company at $54.20. The board should have immediately presented it to the shareholders. How do you feel about this? The shareholders could have then just said no outright and chosen not to sell. But instead, they said poison pill. The plan effectively would cap Elon Musk from buying more than 15% of the company, making sure that if he did, the other investors could buy cheaper shares to prevent him from gaining total control. This is one of the biggest and most important culture war battles that we have seen since the beginning of the culture war. A billionaire with the power to take back the town square and restore freedom of speech is being thwarted by powerful special interests, zealous ideologues who have control of the company, but there may still be a path forward. Elon Musk, in an interview, said he didn't know if he would be able to buy this company, but he does have a plan B. Some have said that Elon Musk, if his offer is not accepted, he sells out his shares, 9.2%, crashing the value down to $30, triggering a wave of lawsuits from people who are outraged that they could have sold at $54, but the board blocked them. Elon Musk then begins buying up shares at a discount price and actually gets control of the company for cheaper than he actually offered. They're trying everything in the book. They're saying Elon Musk is lowballing because last year Twitter was trading much higher. Well, it's not about whether Twitter was trading much higher. It's whether or not Elon Musk is going to make money for people. You see, Twitter was trading around $80 briefly, and many people probably sold out and made some money, and some people maybe bought in, but ultimately the price tanked to around $30. Elon Musk was basically saying you're going to get double your money from before I bought in. In fact, I believe it was Goldman Sachs that said their selling price point for Twitter was around $30. Why would they reject this? My friends, many employees at Twitter are freaking out. The CEO is speaking, saying, don't worry, we're not hostages. This is the same guy who said it's not about free speech. The same guy who said it's about the current state of things. These are cult members who have gained control of our institutions. They don't care about money. They care about dogma and zealotry. Well, many of the shareholders may agree, and many may not. Elon Musk is a shareholder. If they do not take his offer in earnest, Elon Musk himself could sue. It looks like no matter what happens, he is going to be causing damage, stress, and maybe even triggering an extraction from these special interests that are trying to control our discourse. The story is just increasingly insane. Bill Gates and farmland, BlackRock and houses. Oligarchs are buying up our property, seizing our ability to communicate. And right now, the left is on the side of Saudi Arabia, censorship, major big tech corporations. It is just the weirdest thing. I never thought I would see something this blatant and egregious, that the left is actually like, it's good that a Saudi Arabian prince controls a portion of Twitter and that major companies, investment firms, evil megacorps like Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street have controlling shares of the platform where we vote. For the longest time, the point was the corporations were preventing us from getting real leaders in this country, that they're buying our members of Congress. And now that these companies seek to control our means of communication, the left is defending them. It's insane. The cult needs to be stopped. And we do it, well, Elon Musk does it the way Elon Musk does, but we do it by voting in the primaries and supporting people like Elon Musk when they make these moves. Well, let's read the news and see exactly what's going on. Before we get started, head over to timcast.com, become a member, help support the work we do here, the work I do making these videos, and the work our journalists do every day. As a member, you'll get access to exclusive segments of the Timcast IRL podcast, Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Yesterday was a really amazing conversation with Michael Knowles and Jeremy Boring of the Daily Wire. We talked quite a bit about a giant meteor coming to destroy the Earth, and then it got into spirituality, religion, quantum physics, just weird, crazy stuff. So check it out. Support our work. Don't forget to smash the like button right now. Give a little tap. Subscribe to this channel. Share this show anywhere you can in any way you can. Grassroots marketing is the most powerful thing. Here's the story from timcast.com. Breaking. Twitter board utilizes poison pill to stop Elon Musk from buying the company. In a press release on Friday, keep that in mind, Twitter announced that it was enacting a plan that would limit Elon Musk's ability to purchase the social media giant outright. Faced with the prospect of a hostile takeover, the Twitter board has adopted a defensive strategy called a shareholder rights plan. Shareholder rights plans, also known as poison pills, are a takeover defense tool often used to avoid escalating a hostile or unsolicited offer by keeping an investor from accumulating a significant ownership stake. Shareholder rights plans are one of the most potent and effective defenses against a hostile takeover. By capping ownership, a plan compels a bidder to negotiate directly with the board of directors instead of launching an unapproved tender offer or accumulating a controlling stake through open market purchases. Such a maneuver can level the playing field by giving the board greater control of a process, providing more time for deliberations, and responding to aggressive negotiating tactics. Now, I want to pause real quick and just say on Friday. I don't know how many of you are watching the news on Friday, but the reality is most people don't. Unless you're mission driven, you care about what's happening. The average person says, yo, it's Friday, I'm beat. I'm going to go chill out, hang out, and just kind of relax a little bit. It's that simple, right? Fridays are where news goes to die. Now, why would Twitter put out this press release on a Friday? I mean, Elon Musk announced this stuff earlier this week. Granted, it all is happening pretty quickly, and this may just be, it's just time. I mean, Elon Musk makes the offer, then they respond as soon as they can. No, I think the real issue is this shows that they are violating their fiduciary responsibility, their fiduciary duty. They're not entertaining a legitimate offer. They didn't present it to the shareholders. They simply said, no, we are going to prevent it from happening. Now. They say they're still considering Elon Musk's proposal, but it seems fairly dirty. They're going to say, however, a rights plan is not absolute protection. While it does prevent a third party from quickly acquiring controlling stake in the company, hostile bidders can still wage a public campaign to pressure the board to negotiate and complete the intended purchase. In the press release, Twitter states the plan will reduce the likelihood that any entity, person, or group gains control of Twitter through open market accumulation, an evident response to Musk's attempted purchase on Thursday. The so-called poison pill becomes active if an entity, person, or group acquires beneficial ownership of 15% or more of Twitter's outstanding common stock in a transaction not approved by the board. If the plan becomes active, current shareholders will be entitled to a special class of shares sold at a lower than market price to acquire controlling equity in the company, thus ending the third party's ability to gain controlling ownership. According to Twitter, the shareholders' rights plan will remain active until April 14th, 2023, seemingly thwarting Musk from purchasing controlling interest in the social media platform for at least 1 year. At this point, Musk's remaining option would be to lobby current shareholders by convincing them to relinquish their shares in a sale directly to him. In most instances, someone like Musk will be forced to utilize a public campaign to compel shareholders to abandon their right to exercise the purchase of options made available through the limited plan. It remains to be seen what the next steps Musk will take in his bid to purchase Twitter. What the steps will be. Okay, hold on. This is where things get interesting. Elon Musk offered to buy out the entirety of the company. He didn't say he was going to try and acquire through open market means. He said, how would your shareholders like to just sell out everything at $54.20 a premium? It's my best and final offer. Elon Musk has been planning this. Twitter is reacting to this. I think it's fair to say that Elon saw this coming. This is a common tactic, but there's an interesting question. Why enact a poison pill on public market acquisition when Elon Musk was offering up private, or I should say a direct and total purchase of the company? I don't think this is going to stop much. It's going to stop Elon Musk's potential plan B, I suppose. CNBC reported just the other day, Elon Musk says he's not sure he'll be able to buy Twitter after $43 billion bid teases a plan B. Perhaps his plan B was that, as many people pointed out, when the stock price collapses, he'll come in and buy it up at a discount. He can't now. Here's how it's basically going to work. If Elon Musk does start purchasing through open market means, and he gets to 15%, these other shareholders will then have access to shares which will allow them to dilute the value of Elon Musk's shares, effectively stealing money from him and stealing control. It is a dirty move, considering Elon Musk isn't trying to just, well, he didn't initially start by going into the open market. In this op-ed from Real Money, Elon Musk's bid for Twitter is a Machiavellian play. Interesting. What do you mean, Real Money? They write, this is from Ed Ponzi. On Thursday, market talk was dominated by Elon Musk's bid for Twitter. I believe Musk will eventually own the company one way or another. You'll love to hear it, don't you? Well, good sir, who seems to be an expert. I say that only because I agree with his sentiment, but in all reality, why is this? He goes on to write, earlier this week I wrote about Musk's penchant for humor. Did you notice the reappearance of the number 420 in his 5420 bid for Twitter? This is a reference to marijuana and is apropos his funding secured tweet in which he mulled taking Tesla private at 420. Seriously? I also wrote about Musk's tendency to go all in on his ideas and that 9.2% or even 14.9% ownership of Twitter would be insufficient. In a new statement, Musk has now indicated that he wants to take Twitter private. In other words, he wants it all. Musk said his $54.20 per share bid is his best and final offer for the social media network. Musk also implied that he might sell his shares of Twitter if the terms aren't met. It's an all or nothing deal. Now, real quick, I want to add, interesting play by Musk. You see, what he said is, it's not a threat, but if the management will not allow the company to be fixed, and I don't believe they can fix it, it's not a good investment. It's simple. Elon Musk thought that at 9.2%, they'd entertain his ideas. But in fact, they tried to hinder his ideas and outright said, we will not change past policy decisions. That's it. This is fair play. Elon Musk isn't trying to trick anybody. He said, I'll do 9.2. Let's talk. And they said, okay. Then publicly said, we're not going to do any of that. So Elon's like, okay, fine. I don't want to be in the board if you're not going to fix it because I thought you were playing fair and I could help you save this company. I want to buy the company outright. Now they're saying we don't know about that poison pill. Elon Musk could have gone in for a private sale, but it looks like they have violated their fiduciary duty and Twitter is playing dirty games to maintain political power. Interesting. Let's consider how this might play out. Musk's offer will not be accepted. Just over a year ago, Twitter was an $80 stock, so it's unlikely that a buyout price of $54.20 would generate much excitement. Musk knows this to be true. If Musk then sells his shares, the stock might drift back to the mid-30s. That's where Twitter was trading prior to the initial news of the Tesla CEO's interest in the company. This will irritate shareholders who, in hindsight, will question why a deal with Musk wasn't consummated. If a market downturn should occur, the likelihood of which is increased in the current interest rate environment, we could see Twitter in the mid to upper 20s. If that happens, shareholders will be begging for a buyout at $54.20. In this scenario, that price could represent a gain of 100% for shareholders. Of course, that $54.20 price would be off the table at this point. Musk can either start buying shares again at a lower price or come in with a lower bid. On the other hand, if Twitter's price moves higher, he could simply choose not to pursue the company. I believe it would be a mistake to treat Musk's bid for Twitter as if it were a typical M&A deal. While some may feel this bid is ill-advised from a business standpoint, we need to understand that typical business concepts are irrelevant in this case. Musk has decided that he wants to own Twitter, and I expect that will happen at some point. If the above scenario unfolds, he might end up owning the social media company for even less than his current bid. But this was written before news of the poison pill. Which brings me to this tweet from Bow-Tied Ranger. I'm not familiar with the expertise of Bow-Tied Ranger, but considering the poison pill, I think it's an interesting take, and I've seen it repeated by many other individuals, but this take is a bit more concise. Bow-Tied Ranger on Twitter says, Twitter is hoping to frustrate Elon out of his offer by imposing roadblocks like a post-offer poison pill. It's a defense tactic. 3 likely outcomes. Twitter ends up in a shareholder derivative suit for breach of fiduciary duty for not properly evaluating the entire fairness of Elon's offer. 2, Twitter is, quote, in play, meaning the board has to execute a sales process to find the highest bidder. 3, Elon launches a proxy battle and teams up with other major shareholders to take over Twitter. More traditional hostile takeover approach. If you're a Twitter board member, you're going to have a lot of sleepless nights coming up. Interesting. Perhaps the more traditional takeover is what may be coming. Elon Musk is getting advice. I think he's getting advice from Morgan Stanley. I believe Morgan Stanley holds a piece of Twitter. And I think it's fair to say one thing. If Elon Musk buys the company, he will fix it. Fact. It's simple. How many users does Twitter have? If Elon Musk simply unbans Donald Trump and Alex Jones, Milo Yiannopoulos, Laura Loomer, and many others, their followers will return to the platform. And we're talking about 100 million people. Now, maybe many of those people are still on the platform. Simply by banning these people, not everybody quit. But what about all the people that were banned by for saying learn to code? What if Elon Musk says, you want a verified badge? $5 a month. Then we verify you. That $5 allows us to maintain the profile and do the checks to make sure you are who you are, which creates the healthiest outcome. No more bots. Uh-oh. You see, Elon Musk is talking about fixing democracy, as they like to say. He's talking about restoring freedom of speech in the digital spaces. He's talking about making money for the company. I think any legitimate investor in the company is going to say it makes sense. But what the left is talking about, what the establishment is talking about, what Vanguard and BlackRock seem to be interested in is political power. Political power indeed. Eric Hartman on Twitter. Again, these are just some interesting accounts that I've seen. He says, so let me get this straight. The progressive left is now rooting for Saudi Arabia, Wall Street, Vanguard, BlackRock, and against free speech, liberty, and the dude who makes electric cars and is going to Mars? What? Yeah, here's what I really love. Elon Musk is the king of electric cars. Shouldn't the climate change people love him? Yo, it really does seem like Elon Musk is doing the most to actually solve problems. It's not about solving problems. It's about power. Here's proof. February 10th, 2022. Reuters. Twitter misses ad revenue and user growth estimates. Revenue forecast light. Oh, you mean only a couple months ago it was reported that Twitter was failing? Elon Musk says, hey guys, I can fix this. And they say, we're not going to entertain that offer. Get out. Yo, what? Again, I always say this, full disclosure, I have 22 shares in Twitter. I don't think that represents any kind of strong interest. But I would love if I was able to sell at $54.20 to someone like Elon Musk, who I believe would then fix the platform. In fact, if Elon Musk does leave, I'll tell you what I was really hoping for. I was hoping that with 9.2%, Elon Musk goes on the board, he applies pressure in certain areas, the platform improves, I make some money on my investment while supporting a move. You know, when Elon Musk bought in, my attitude was, gotta support the guy. I want to support him to whatever ability I can, but I don't know if I'm confident in Twitter as a platform. So it was like $1,000, something like that. A good amount of money, but not like a substantial investment. But then they started screwing with him. Now I'm worried. Am I going to lose my money on this? If this drops down to $30, do I lose $400? I don't want to lose $400. If Elon Musk can't make the changes to fix the company, and that's what he's saying now, I'm kind of worried. Why aren't the shareholders getting a say in whether or not the company gets sold to Elon Musk? Reuters, February 10th. Twitter Inc. reported weaker than expected quarterly advertising revenue and user growth on Thursday and forecast revenue short of Wall Street targets, indicating that its turnaround plan has yet to bear fruit. Still, the social networking site said it made meaningful progress towards its goal of reaching 315 million users, blah, blah, blah. That number right there. The company's just been stagnant. Particularly, here we go. They say monetizable daily active users who see ads grew 13% to 217 million in the fourth quarter of last year, missing consensus estimates of 218.5, according to IBES data from Refinitiv. It was up from 211 million users in the previous quarter. User growth for Twitter is going to be predicated upon young people. Older people will use it or they won't. You can try and convert older people. Maybe you can't. Young people don't care about Twitter. Ask them. They don't. They're like, I don't know. That's like political stuff. I like TikTok. TikTok is fun stuff. Huh. Yeah. See, we have a show. It's called Pop Culture Crisis. It's a new show. We launched it. Just got I think 22,000 subs so far. It's new, and we're getting the hang of the show, and everybody's got to take their time to improve. When I first started doing my show, I sucked at it. Pop Culture Crisis, when they started, actually pretty good at it. They could be better. Yet we're not worried about Twitter for Pop Culture Crisis. Why? Because Twitter is a trash platform. There's no opportunity for cultural expansion in that space. TikTok, however. Now, hold on a minute. How did that happen to Twitter? Because they are led by zealots and ideologues who are burning the company to the ground. National Review writes, incoming Twitter CEO said company should focus less on free speech because he's a zealot. Because he believes in power, not a functioning business that is healthy for everyone. It's about crushing the political opponents that you do not like. That is bad for business. And the board agrees. Otherwise, they would have been like, hey, cool, we got an offer, guys. Hey, how about this? We're going to put up an open bidding process. Does anybody want to outbid Elon Musk? Let's all get paid, baby. Instead, they're like, no. We like our power. If the prince, that Saudi Arabian prince, really believed that Twitter was worth more, instead of rejecting outright the offer, why wouldn't he say, okay, it's your best and final offer. Does anybody else want to offer us more money? Because I think it's worth more money. Instead, he goes, no. Let me tell you guys something. There is no such thing as no in business. This is a fact. I'll ask you a question. If you got a phone call right now, and it was the CEO of McDonald's. I know it's McDonald's, calm down. And they said, and this guy, I think it's a guy, I don't know, whoever, said, I want you to work the register at our location in LaGrange, Illinois. Just off of, what is that, LaGrange, is it Boulevard or is it whatever? I don't know. We just call it LaGrange. And what's your response? Will you work the cash register? Right now, you start tomorrow. First thing, quit your job, upend your life, move to Illinois. Well, most people say no. Unless you're established as with a prominent career, I can get it. Maybe you're a priest. Okay, you've dedicated your life to something. But for the average person looking for a good job, the answer is how much? The answer is not no. The answer is how much. Now, let's play another game. McDonald's calls you, your local McDonald's, and they say, we want you to come work the register. And you say, how much? And they say, $10 an hour. What's the answer? Once again, the answer is not no. The answer is, I counter with, name the price that would convince you to do it. Some people would say, I wouldn't counter with anything because I don't want to work at McDonald's. That's not true. Like I said, some people are dedicated. Like, I wouldn't expect a priest to give away, to stop being a priest, something you dedicate your life to, or necessarily a doctor or a lawyer. I mean, like, you're somebody with a typical office job, or you got a good paying job, and it's not really your passion, but you are good at it. That's a lot of people. For you, you get a call from McDonald's and you say, I'll do it for $100 an hour. Now, what if they say no? Who cares? You don't want the job anyway. The reality is there's no no. It's only them who can say no, right? You say $10 an hour won't cut it. If you want me to take a job I really don't want, I'm willing to do it for a certain amount of money. The point I'm making is that the response from Twitter, I understand because Elon said it's my best and final offer. But wouldn't they then immediately field an offer from someone else? They're offering you money. Well, okay, maybe Twitter is worth more. I think it is. The zealots seem to think so. Then why would you not say, here's the true value of Twitter, $80 per share? You could say that. You could say, okay, we're going to open up a bidding process, but we expect a minimum of $80 per share. Instead, they're like, nah. You know why? Recode nails it. And this is Vox. These are leftists. There are good reasons why Elon wants Twitter. Twitter may not be a great business, but you can buy power and influence. They say for years, investors have criticized it for failing to achieve its full potential. Twitter hasn't been able to acquire billions of users like Facebook, blah, blah, blah. Whoa, 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 right there. It is on record. Don't play games with me. Recode is a Vox.com project. It is leftist, progressive. And they're saying outright it is a failing business. It's been criticized by investors. So when Elon Musk steps up and says, I'm going to give you guys a premium, why reject it? The true value is not monetary. The true value is that when you're richer than rich, you don't need money. You can make money wherever you want. You can steal money. It's whatever. The rich get rich. Buy a bunch of houses. You're rich forever, right? If you can control the flow of information. What's that famous saying? Give me control of a nation's currency, and I care not who makes its laws. What was that? One of the Rothschilds said that. Give me a control of a nation's currency. I care not who makes its laws. Interesting. Give me control of the flow of information, and I care not who controls the currency. Because you can be the richest and wealthiest person in the world, but I can make all of the news bad. I can make every moment of your life a nightmare. We can trigger investigations against you. We can make people believe anything we want. And all that money in the world won't protect you from being excised from modern culture, modern society. That's what Twitter does. People like Alex Jones and Donald Trump get removed, no matter how powerful they really are. Alex Jones, a millionaire. Donald Trump is a billionaire. But they can rip you out. They can run the stories and they can destroy your lives. Then their allies in government can come after you. That's where it gets scary. Recode acknowledges this. It's something the left truly understands. For politicians, business leaders, celebrities, and journalists, Twitter is a key platform for amplifying their message and controlling their own narratives. That's right. Elon Musk said, open the gates. I don't want that power restricted to political elites and authoritarians. And the political elites and authoritarians said, no. Fascinating. Twitter shareholders win in Elon Musk's quest for justice. At least that's what they said yesterday over at Fox Business, because the price went up. It's a win then, but not a win now. You'll need to correct that one. Twitter's CEO Parag Agrawal told employees they are not hostages of Elon Musk. Yeah. I wonder what he's saying there. Sounds to me like what he's saying is, you can quit. Twitter will burn itself down before allowing someone to restore freedom of speech. Mike Cernovich tweets, Twitter's board of directors just robbed shareholders out of billions of dollars. It's Enron all over again. Wow. Elon Musk is a shareholder. Is the Twitter board violating their fiduciary duty to Elon Musk? I think so. Because he can fix the company. And they're not offering up this decision to the shareholders. It really is remarkable how we've come to this point. Lifehacker, how to delete your Twitter account when you've had enough. Yo, the corporate press is actually, this is Lifehacker, this is Gizmodo, this is the formerly of the Gawker Network. If you've tweeted your final tweet, here's how to delete your Twitter 30 minutes ago. I pulled this up. Well, that's amazing. So about an hour ago, because I've been talking for a half an hour. How to delete your Twitter account. Will they actually destroy Twitter? Wow. What's that called when you're being invaded? So you blow up your own supplies and factories? I forget. It's not scorched earth. It's something else. Similar, though, so that they can't use anything you've got. Is that what's happening? It certainly feels like that's what's happening. Defiant L's with an excellent tweet. Business Insider tweeted, billionaire Jeff Bezos' Washington Post buy marks a fascinating cultural transition in America. And that was in 2013. Now they write, Elon Musk's attempt to buy Twitter represents a chilling new threat. Billionaire trolls taking over social media. We are not stupid. And we have had enough. The billionaires already control social media. You think that we're morons. Certainly many people are morons. But this game you play does not work anymore. We have discovered the means of decentralized communications long ago. And try as you might to centralize the internet, you will fail. Now, you've made great strides in your censorship attempts. But people have still found a way. Minds.com still exists. Gab still exists. BitChute still exists. Rumble still exists. There are people with power, and you cannot control them all. Try as you might to be like Shanghai, pulling people from their homes. But do you think you will succeed by being this stupid? You're not playing 4D chess, my friends. We know that it's already billionaires in control of these platforms. Vanguard and BlackRock, State Street, they own large portions of these companies. Are these not massive trillion-dollar organizations? And you think I'm going to be mad about Elon Musk, the guy who makes rocket ships? No, I'm not going to cry about it. I'm going to laugh. Because if at the very least, it's like a Trump moment, where this billionaire storms into the ivory tower and roughs it up like a raging bull, I laugh. Yo, I can't get in that ivory tower anyway. Why do I care? You people spit on us from atop your tower. And now the bull's been unleashed. Elon Musk. Electric cars. Going up against the entirety of the auto industry. And didn't Joe Biden fail to mention Tesla when he was talking about car manufacturing? Because it is a big club and you ain't in it. Elon Musk may be the richest man in the world, but he's certainly an outsider. At least presumably. And this is where we're at with it. You expect us to play this game. Yeah, okay, let's play this game. Charles Gasparino tweeted, as Elon Musk offers to buy the rest of Twitter, a legal source tells Fox Business the SEC and Justice Department have launched what he described as a joint investigation into a myriad of Musk regulatory issues. Even the government's involved. They will try to destroy him the same as they did Trump. There is a cult that is gaining more and more power in our institutions and government. 10 years ago, it was not as powerful. It's even more powerful now. Do not bend the knee to these people. Stand strong. Defy them. Stand up for people like Elon. At the very least, he's shaking things up. Slate says investment firms aren't buying all the houses. They're buying the most important ones. Well, Slate, I think you're a bunch of liars, but you get this one right. Yeah, big evil companies are buying up low-income housing. They're controlling things. What do they say? Wall Street, the median price increased over 28% over the last 2 years. And they go on to talk about Blackstone. Interesting. Invitation Homes was spun off from Blackstone, the world's largest private equity company. And they're buying up houses. Bill Gates is the biggest private owner of farmland in the U.S. Why? And then we have what's going on in China. And maybe that's a good indicator. The way it was described to us over at Timcast IRL here was that some American politicians went to China and saw how they were able to crush dissent and do whatever they wanted. And they thought, how can we do it here? Well, in order to do it, you need to control the flow of information. And that's where we're at. You need to control what people think. They're trying. It's not working. And they won't win. We'll see how this plays out. Next segment will be tonight at 8 p.m. over at youtube.com/TimcastIRL. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all then.